If you're in the market for a mid-sized SUV, I wouldn't be surprised if Peugeot is not on your shopping list. But did you know? Peugeot is now the biggest car maker in Europe, and it's under new management at home as well. This is the brand new 3008 SUV, and it looks like it might be the car to give the brand the kick along it really needs. The 3008 will go up against cars like the Mazda CX-5, Hyundai Tucson and the Volkswagen Tiguan, so it'll really need to have its game face on. They'll all be front-wheel drive and all will use a 6-speed automatic gearbox, and there's no manual available at all. On the inside, Peugeot has thrown away the rulebook. The interior is that different. It is absolutely gorgeous. The design of the door cards, for example, with this lovely inset fabric with soft touches here. The seats are very contemporary. Even the dash shape, it's just nice to look at, and it's really pleasant to use as well. These metal piano keys to control functions like the phone and navigation are gorgeous. They are so tactile and lovely to touch. The matte screens are excellent to look at. The digital dash is just gorgeous. I love the larger screen that controls most of the functionality of the car, including driver aids, even the automatic stop start, which actually we won't get in Australia, can be controlled through the center screen. So thumbs up, this is just such a lovely place to operate. The 3008 will start around 40 grand drive away, and it is chock full of kit including digital radio, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, dual zone air, front and rear parking sensors, reversing camera, auto headlights and wipers, LED daytime running lamps, traffic sign recognition, 3D satellite navigation, electric heated door mirrors, induction charging, and a leather-bound steering wheel. And that's just the basic car. The 3008 range will come with a traditional 6-speed automatic, and if you've owned an older Peugeot with some of the automatic gearboxes that they've had in the past, you'll know that this is good news. The trigger style shifter takes a little bit to get used to. It's not a traditional gated auto, rather more like a joystick that you push back and forth to get the gear, and you have to hold a lock button on the side to make it work. It's a little bit of a pain if I'm honest, but one clever function is that no matter what gear you're in, when you turn the car off, it plonks it straight into park and turns on the handbrake. That's pretty clever. Okay, so I'm sitting behind my driving position and I'm about 184 centimeters tall. There's a little bit of knee room left here, and the seat back is sculpted to allow them to fit in, and headroom isn't too bad either. Tow room is good, and there's rear vents as well. It's not what I'd call huge, but it's certainly bigger than others in the space. And Peugeot has a trick up its sleeve. There's a bigger version of the 3008 with a third row of seats and much more room in this section here. So what's it like to drive? Well, we covered about 500 kilometres around the roads of France, and while driving it on Australian roads is really the only way to know how good it really is, we're actually pretty impressed. We tried the 121 kilowatt petrol powered Allure, and it's a pretty good thing. It's got more than enough oomph for around town work, and the steering feels natural, if maybe a little bit too light. The brakes are pretty sensitive though, and the little 1.6 needs a good rev to get it up to freeway merging speed. Overall, I'd give the handling of the 3008 a very solid pass mark. It feels quite light and quite agile, but that lightness can also be manifested in a bit of brittleness, in a bit of bumpiness over more broken terrain like rough urban streets. It's not terrible, and it improves when there's more people in the car. And up to speed, that feeling actually goes away. It's very well controlled for such a relatively small car. The French, of course, have always been renowned for doing cars with a lovely ride and a lovely handling. Not sporty as such, but just comfortable. and the 3008 definitely follows in that trend. Peugeot has a long and distinguished history in Australia, but let's face it, it really needs a couple of boundaries to get back on the scoreboard with Australian buyers. But with the 3008, I reckon they've now got a top order batsman that can really swing for the fence. Want to read the full review on the 3008? Well, make sure you click the link in the corner there. And if you want to stay on top of all of our latest videos, make sure you click subscribe.